همونطوری که توی این منطقه از سوریه و لبنان و فلسطین و عراق و یمن و جای دیگه سیاست‌های ایالات متحده و اذنابش رو زمین گذاشتیم، ما تا خود آمریکا رو نکنیم جمهوری اسلامی دست از پا بر نمی‌داریم.
Hassan Abazi, ominous message. You saw the subtitles. He issues a stark warning saying that the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, with which he is one of the leading commanders, is ready for war with America regardless of a nuclear deal, even as the United States continues to push for an agreement. Iran, of course, accused of being a major sponsor of terrorism in the Middle East and elsewhere around the globe. That and the Iranians' continued provocations against the United States raises real concerns about Iranian intentions, even if a final nuclear deal is signed. Let's bring in our panel to get some insights. From Newsmax, Washington, it's my former congressional colleague, Michael Patrick Flanagan, and from our Newsmax TV newsroom, former CIA analyst Fred Fleitz. Gentlemen, welcome to Newsmax Prime. Fred, what do you make of this situation? We hear that Khamenei loyalist saying he's ready to go to war. Is that just being bellicose, or do we need to take that as a genuine threat?
JD, it's great to be here, and it's great to finally be on your primetime show. Well, what's the surprise here? Supreme Leader Khamenei is still running the country. He put out a 8-step plan to wipe Israel off the map last November. We've been fooling ourselves to think that Iran has changed its policies, still does not want to push radical Islam on the world. It is still at war with the United States, with Western civilization, with Israel. This is just confirming something which we frankly should have realized was still going on.
Michael Patrick Flanagan, you hail from Chicago. Brass knucks politically, but this president seems to be going out of his way to offer, if not an appeasement, then certainly indulgence to the Iranian regime.
Any price to keep us from having to put boots on the ground to interact with ISIS. He'll give the Iranians the bomb. He'll give the Kurds any kind of land or oil deals that they want. He'll give them a separate country if they ask for it. And there's some talk that's been going on this week while Barzani's been in the capital. He'll make any promise that needs to be made. He's in there for another 19 months, and he knows the next administration is going to have to deal with the larger portion of those promises.
And yet, even as we see that in terms of, quote, negotiations, we would be remiss, gentlemen, if we didn't talk about the most recent, I guess we could call this targeted leader in the Mideast via drones. According to an al-Qaeda report, one of their leaders, one of the leaders of the group behind those Charlie Hebdo attacks in Paris, was killed by an American drone. Fred, first to you, the veracity of that report. Do you believe that happened? And then secondly, the question of drones. Are we now drone dependent in carrying out military objectives?
JD, I'm afraid I can't comment on the veracity of that report. I think we are very drone dependent, and this administration has said they'd rather kill than capture with drones because they don't want to deal with Guantanamo. They don't want to deal with the problem of incarcerating and trying these terrorists. And when we do this, and I can tell you as a former CIA analyst, we lose a great deal of very crucial counterterrorism intelligence. It's a policy that I think has hurt us.
Fred, you raised the issue of Gitmo. Mike Flanagan, I have to ask you this. There's some buzz going around that this president, before he leaves office, will sign an executive order to close the prison at Guantanamo Bay. Do you believe that's going to happen?
Nothing this guy does astounds me. In fact, what they ought to do is take Guantanamo, take it to Tijuana, turn them loose there, and then they can just come right across the border and be welcomed. And that might be fun all for everyone all the way around. The drones that we send over, we don't know how many we sent. If we killed this guy, and I hope we did, and I hope he's dead, and I hope him and all his friends are dead, how many people around him did he kill with that drone? How many would otherwise be classified as collateral damage that this administration, by fiat, says are Confederates? How many drones did we send before the one that got him got him? We don't know any of that, and we will never know any of that. The point is we don't fight a fight anymore. We don't have an enemy in the field. We make more enemies in the outside of this country by willy-nilly throwing these drones in than we do by having these worldly advanced concepts of going in and freeing a people from a despot. And
Michael Patrick Flanagan and Fred Fleitz, we do appreciate your insights. And guys, for what it's worth, my Aleutian solution, let them close Gitmo. We'll take them to Alaska, the Aleutian Islands, where it's not exactly tropical, and those enemy combatants can get a good dose of almost a permanent winter. That's at least my solution. Stay with us. There's much more to come. Oh, by the way, what do you think of my solution? I'd really like to hear from you. You can email me, newsmaxprime@newsmaxtv, or go to Facebook, facebook.com/newsmaxprime, or you can tweet me, going all to Twitter at Twitter, twitter.com/@newsmaxprime. Stay with us.